it's Raquel Bowman here, and I am really happy to be bringing you my layout for the Altenew blog hop, and this is to celebrate the release of this gorgeous kit, and it's called Reflections. So this is a new collection by Altenew, a scrapbooking collection, and this is the layout that I completed for this hop. So join me and follow along with this process video, and then I will link you up at the end to the next part of the hop. This is taking part on my blog, but I will link you up in YouTube as well so that you can join in. So what I've decided to do with this collection is to stick to a contrasting black and white layout with bright pops of colour. That was my thoughts. So I decided to stick with a geometric design and go for circles down that right side of the page. And to do this, I grabbed out my steel dies that are circular shaped, and I've also grabbed out that amazing bright stripe looked paper. Looks painted like it's been done it's been done for you, which for my non-mixed media style is perfect because I love the look that it brings. I just don't think that I'd be able to achieve it with the products. So this is perfect. I was really inspired by that gorgeous chipboard floral piece that's in the kit, and I really wanted to focus and create a layout based around the colours that are in that floral piece. Of course, I have to add a little touch of softness, so that's where that pale pink portion of that paper came in, just to map my photo. And then what you're going to see me do once I've placed down that acetate beautiful title is just build a bit of a circular design. So I wanted to sort of stick with how the colours were placed on that pattern paper. They started with the pink, they went to the orange, to the yellow, to the greens, to the blues. So that's sort of how I've arranged it down the page. And then I am embellishing with some fussy cut out flowers from one of the other papers in the kit. Now, if you didn't see my share video of the actual kit, I'll make sure to link that here as well, because this kit is jam-packed. There are 48 papers in the collection box that you receive, and there's heaps, so many designs, so much choice. So I barely scraped the surface of this collection, honestly. I used 4 of the different pattern papers, I think, in this layout alone, as well as some of the embellishments like the acetate pieces and the chipboard and the stickers and those sorts of things. So I'm working on clustering around those circular designs, and I have added some stickers which I've removed the adhesive with my powder tool just so I can move them around. I've added some of those fussy cut black sketch flowers, which I think that was one of my favourite papers looking through the kit. And then also I'm going to add a touch of the veneer into the layout, and that's just those round epoxy veneer buttons, which are one of my favourite products. I love those type of wood buttons. I have a look through and see if I can find circular elements within the products, and I decided to add in some hearts as well. The photo that I'm scrapbooking is just a really cute one of my kids, and I've scrapbooked ones that I took at this particular day already, so I didn't want to tell a really big story or anything here, but I didn't want to not document this photo either. So I do some journaling, which I end up doing down the bottom there, and I move and take away that moment captured piece. I had so much happening along that right side of the page that I felt like I needed something to balance it out a little bit. So I grabbed that beautiful black and white striped paper, and I've taken my American Crafts knockout punch, and it's just a really simple scallop border, and I'm just punching out a thin border, which I cut even smaller actually, to place along that left side. And I just feel like that really finishes off the page. I think that if I didn't have it there, then the page wouldn't have that balance that I was after, or that look that I was after. So I'm ready to adhere down pretty much at this point. I've sort of placed the embellishments round about where I want them to go, and what I really want to work on now is not necessarily the embellishing and sticking those down, but I want to work on adhering down the circles so that I can later on machine stitch them down. So what I'm going to do before I do that is just work on my photo mat. So that yellow little tab there I punched from that painted look paper, and I've got a tab punch that I use for that. And now I'm just moving some of the smaller embellishments to the side and adhering down my circles. And as I said, that's so that I can take the page to my sewing machine and just run through the center of them. And I do that horizontally, not vertically. And you'll see me in a moment bring the page back. I don't do the sewing on camera, but I'll bring the page back and just show you how I'm going to add some dimension from that sewing. And to add some dimension, I'm going to just lift up the top and the bottom of the circles and fold them inwards, and that will give the page just that little bit of lift that I was after. What you could see me doing there as well was just adhering down the photo, and because it's placed on top of the chipboard, I only had to place some foam adhesive to the top left of the photo, and that balanced out the photo and the height of the photo on the page. So you saw me bending inwards those circles, and now I'm up to adhering down the bits and pieces on my page. One of my favorite tools is my T-square ruler, and I love that because I'm able to check and make sure that I'm applying bits and pieces to my page straight. It's a cheap but also effective tool that is in my kit that I will use all the time. So now I'm working on my clusters, and I end up sort of having more than 3, because normally I'll work in 3s, the whole visual triangle thing, but when I looked at my layout I still felt like it was balanced. So I sort of have some clusters to the top right of the page, and I'm saying clusters meaning more than one, because I have that cluster where it's got the Simply Love and the cloud, and then I have sort of some little grouping of circles with those love hearts. Then to the left of my photo is another cluster, and then to the bottom of the page is another larger cluster of embellishments. So I'm counting that as my triangle, and I think that that's how, although there are quite a number of clusters, I've been able to keep the page balanced. For those acetate pieces, they can be quite tricky to adhere to a page, so you can either use a staple if you like that look, or what I'm doing is just applying some liquid adhesive where the black parts of the acetate piece are, so they don't show up a lot. Well, you pretty much, once the glue dries, you don't really see that liquid adhesive that's dried underneath there. So I like how that turns out, and it doesn't give me that sort of yucky glue look that you can see through the acetate. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the date onto some white cardstock and cut that out. So I'm just using a simple black ink. I was going to try at the start to only stamp, say, the month, and then stamp after that the year, and join them so that they looked like one piece, but I wasn't liking how that was looking. So I've stamped the month of April, which is when these photos were taken, and the year, and the part in the middle, because I couldn't remember the exact date or day of the month, I have just put a little heart, and I'm just adhering that to that bottom right circle, that green circle, so they're centered on there. Once I have that on the page, I will work shortly on my journaling, which I type off camera. And you can see that I'm just using my 6-inch paper trimmer to trim that out now. And then I'm going to adhere it on that bottom area of the page. So I hope that you've enjoyed this process video today and that you've been able to see what this new Altenew scrapbooking collection and kit is all about. So the kit is called Reflection, and it's part of this big blog hop to celebrate its release. You can check out the links below to join in the hop and to take part, and I'll leave you with some close-ups at the end. The next step in this hop after me is to visit Aimee Dow's blog, so make sure to check that out and follow along. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye everyone.